How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, look, he turned it on. That is nice. Jeez.
Yeah, it's just deep in there.
He's like, he's like
Gotta settle in. I just gotta settle in a
a
bit.
Mission Impossible character. Just puts a chip on there. Like,
Radio
Hello.
voice. Hello.
all right, Gian Gomeshi, calm down.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm really glad I wore these white jeans.
I'm liking it, man.
So I can see that profile.
What?
It's coming up.
What's coming up?
You know what?
God damn it! Don't make me say it.
It's Natty Wags.
Natty Wags.
You're the one who saw a homeless penis. You saw a homeless penis today. That's what you saw.
Yeah, that appendage has nowhere to live.
I mean, in his pants.
It makes
In a-
it sound
aside
like yeah, the way Yassine says you saw a homeless penis
You saw
today.
like a
I
penis
saw a
panhandling?
penis, yeah, on the street with a cardboard that says like I don't know, it's hard out here or something. I don't know. And then people are dropping a coin or whatever.
It's wearing a trench coat. It flashes people.
I think it would
It's
wear
like,
a
what's that?
condom.
What do you-
Wouldn't a penis just be like to protect stuff from the rain and should just be wearing a condom? Sorry, I don't know. Here, listen. What I saw was a homeless man, and he had his penis out for a second. He was putting it back in, but he was airing it out.
Wait, how do you know it was out for a second though?
Because as soon as he saw me, he put it back in, which I was glad.
But you don't know how long he had it out before that.
it's true. It could have been out for a while.
Could have been hanging laundry off of that thing.
No, not that thing.
All right.
All right, I said. You know, this is a family podcast we do here.
I mean, it was
We like to
Until-
talk about whales and
until
stuff.
Yassine until Yassine got into my white pants.
I didn't get into
Whoa.
him.
Not
I
yet.
get into him.
I can give him a minute with that voice. I wouldn't trust him.
They're coming off.
Oh shit! You know, Yassine didn't know that whales evolved from like a more canine-like creature back in the day.
I didn't know that either.
All right.
What are you trying to find vindication for this? You already you
I
won
thought he'd be like, really? But I'm like, Mehreen Asif, she didn't know that chicks become chickens.
That's
like,
worse.
Until
That's
like 4
terrible.
years
That's
ago.
terrible.
Yes,
That's
it's
terrible.
definitely worse. I know. I'm
That's
moving
terrible.
on. But she didn't know chicks become chickens.
Does she know chicken in the store?
what-
comes
what
from
happened to
Chicken
chicks?
The bird.
Huh?
So what happened in her
She
head?
thought
What
they
happened
just
to
stay
chicks?
chicks. She thought eggs become chicks, and that's what happened. She's like, oh yeah, baby chickens. They come from I don't know. And they're like chicks. Like what?
I love that you called her out first name, last name on this podcast.
It's because she's one of our friends that when you say her first name, you tend to want to say the last name as well.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Plus, it's a very
but
common
now
name.
she's gonna get-
There's like 18 of those in wherever city she lives.
Have you ever said Shiloh without in your brain say Kibria?
Yeah, no, that's always,
Every time you say
Mo
Shiloh.
Hashim, Shiloh Kibria.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Those are names that just they flow.
Those are like movie stars. That's why it's like Tom Cruise. You know,
you don't just
Shiloh
say you don't just say
Kibria.
Tom.
Yeah, you never say Tom. You're like
disrespectful.
Hanks. I don't know which Tom you're talking about.
Yeah.
Plus, it just doesn't sound as like his last name, Cruz, is a great last name.
That's his actual last name.
Is it
Is
actually?
it?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, it's a great last name.
Cruz.
Cruz.
Yeah.
I think it's only great because he kind of lives up to the to that
personifies
name.
the
Yeah, it's
name.
amazing.
No, you know what? It's not really the name. It's just he does cool things. Like Brad Pitt is pretty good. Cool. But like since he is who he is, you're like Brad Pitt. That name has some weight on it.
And Tom Hanks is such a like homely
He's
type
everybody's
of thing. He's
uncle
like,
or
he's
dad
like he's
or
the
neighbor.
he's the everybody, the everyman American. All of his movies are like I'm just a husband, but put into like an extraordinary circumstance. Have you seen
Just a husband trying to land a plane upside down.
Have you seen
Just a husband trying to get home from a lost island.
pretty much even
I'm just a husband who's trying to run across country.
Yeah, it's very relatable.
or just a husband that wants to like accidentally is a spy. That like the Bridge of Spies.
Right,
Yeah.
I have not
He was
seen that
like-
one.
he just so happens to find himself in a place where he needs to do extraordinary things. But at the end of the movie, he just passes out. Like he just passes out on his bed. Like he's just tired
really?
and he goes to sleep. It's just he does that role really well.
That's who he is. That's why.
Or like Captain Phillips, same deal.
Do you think that's what it takes to be a good actor? Is being playing roles?
we
that
have
you
to
like?
also acknowledge that
Incredibly talented.
we're just acknowledging Tom Hanks and all those. It's just Tom fucking Hanks every single time, and he does a good job playing himself. None of these are like, man. It's just like a slightly different. The guy who was on the island, I know, was a little bit extra because he
Right.
was on an island. He wasn't interacting with people.
Right.
But generally, Tom Hanks, whether it's Da Vinci Code or most of these movies, or the guy on the boat, You're like, yeah, that's a version of Tom Hanks.
True enough. He's
It's
not
not-
a
you're
he's
not
not a
gonna see
chameleon, but what he does
He's
that
a really
very-
likable dude.
Yeah, but he does that very well.
Yeah,
Like, you
be
would-
himself,
you
like
wouldn't
be an
cast
old
him.
40-year-old.
You wouldn't cast him in like the next Marvel movie.
I
No,
feel like
you
he just
won't.
plays Tim Robbins better. He's just like,
he's just a better Tim Robbins.
yeah, he's just a better
If he
Tim
play,
Robbins.
if they
Tim
made
Robbins
a
doesn't even do anything
biopic
anymore.
of Tim Robbins, Tom Hanks would play Tim Robbins.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
But who would play Tom Hanks in Tom Hanks' biopic? Certainly not Tim
They'd
Robbins.
ruin it. Yeah, maybe not.
Certainly not.
Does not go backwards.
Ed
yeah, that's
Norton.
not backwards compatible.
Ed Norton
No.
would take a crack at it, and he would fail.
Edward, no.
No, Ed Norton would not.
You
take a
know,
crack.
this is not related to what we're talking about, but we're
Good.
moving on. It's another.
I don't know how to segue out of this one.
Kevin Spacey
Yeah.
does a very. So I just watched Baby Driver just yesterday, which was fantastic.
Is it?
Yeah.
That seems a bit. It's like a very polarizing movie. It
but-
sounds.
It has like a 90-something on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't think it's supposed to get a 90. I don't feel like it's
Yeah.
it's right. We'll get there in a minute. Kevin Spacey does a very good job at being quietly threatening.
Yes.
You saw Baby Driver too,
Yeah,
right?
I did.
He doesn't like throughout that movie. He's obviously the boss, right? But he doesn't have to flex too much.
Yeah.
He's just quietly threatening. He's like a shark that doesn't have to do
He's
it.
like a psychopath when he speaks.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I'm pretty sure he built that ability with like the 5 years that he's done House of Cards because all he does is threaten by talking.
Right.
But he did a really good job in that movie. But I think that movie got such a high rating is the uniqueness of how they use that soundtrack.
Right, possibly, man. Great music. Good. It's some of the best chase scenes. I don't even care about chase scenes. I don't really tune out. This was the best chase scenes I've ever seen.
So
in a
you've
movie.
seen it?
Just saw it. Yeah, like a week ago.
Everything about that movie was in sync, including the gunfire. The gunfire matches the music that you're listening to.
Interesting.
Like the attention of detail for like music was happening on the screen and
Right.
sort of like how kinetic the sequences are.
Right.
Here they're gonna
Really
try to do a
amazing.
part 2.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I
gotta
guess
see
so.
it.
He's an interesting actor. The kid.
He's all right.
Yeah,
I thought he's okay.
I thought he was interesting.
Okay.
Like he
I
just
don't
brought
even
in
know that's a compliment.
he brought like a completely different energy that I've never seen on
I
screen.
look forward to seeing him in other things.
I
Because
mean, I hope he.
my
comes
heart
in.
wants to shit on him for some reason. I don't even know why. I hope to see him in other things.
I'm always disappointed when like you see someone that has potential or does not one great thing and then just like disappears.
Paul Dano. I love that guy. I don't know where he is now.
Well, you know who I was thinking
Dano.
about. I was thinking about Mark Morrison. Like he made Return of the Mac
Okay.
and then
You were
didn't-
literally thinking about a one-hit wonder.
and then didn't return after that.
That's
like
true.
it was like I was a little disappointed. It was like me saying to you guys, "Hey guys, let me tell you," and then just stopping, like not saying anything after that.
Yeah.
Like it was.
It's
I
like
feel a
writing a
little- I
book
feel a little
about
let down.
like, the key to persistence, part 1, and then I don't know.
Giving up after that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
How to
Like
go
what
over-
happened to Mark Morrison?
How to get over writer's block. It just stops in the first paragraph. You're like, what's this? All these empty pages? This is bull crap.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'd like to see him come out with something again. I know it's been 20 years since he came out with that
It's
song.
tough. Man.
I feel like he'd have to come out with like, "I'm sorry guys, I didn't return after the last
The
match."
interesting thing is that after that, he had a ton of exposure. He released things. None of them were very good. It was just he was put on this earth to do
For
that,
that one song.
That was his like
Did
contribution.
he
to
have
the
songs
world.
before that though? Because I'd never
I'm
heard of
sure.
him before that. And so when he came out with Return of the Mac, I was like, this guy previously has a catalog, I imagine, because he has returned from something.
Yeah.
Where's he returning from?
Apparently, he's returning from heartbreak. But I thought he was returning, from a career hiatus or something. But no, it's not. It was
You
just
know what?
that.
Maybe like he'll just come back now, unless he's dead, which would be terrible. And he comes out with a brand new, and you're like, whoa, he waited for their second return.
It's like how we waited for those
And
like
you have to eat your
self-lacing
words.
Nikes.
They're out.
They're out now, right?
Yeah.
After like what 1985.
They actually had to try to make them instead of letting the.
They're like,
shoe
"Okay,
get there." They're like,
nerds.
we'll just make one, and you guys can shut the.
Yeah. Okay, nerds, be quiet. Like
Yeah.
we've done it now. Leave us alone. But they cost like so much money. If you buy them on the secondary market, they're like $5,000.
You know what? Shoes haven't changed at all. Like my
They
shoes,
don't need.
they just if the foot hasn't changed, I guess the shoe's not gonna change. I don't know why they thought the shoes were gonna be a big area of investment for people.
But apparently they are. People like
He had a jacket. It rained. He came inside and it vacuumed itself like up and stuff.
what?
He had a like Marty McFly from
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
He had a jacket. He put it on and it sealed itself, so it became like tight on him.
Which was this in number 3?
Yeah, this is the one where they go to the future.
I don't
which
remember
you
this
didn't
jacket.
see recently. So
I
there.
didn't. I saw it.
I haven't even seen that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
You haven't seen
god!
Back to the Future?
Have you seen the first two? And then
I've seen the first one.
Why? Were you
It's not like
forbidden?
it was not a conscious choice. It's just that I never entered the house.
listeners, we'll be right back after 6 hours.
Yeah, I just thought
Is it that
something
good?
people. No, it's just one of those, you know.
And we're back, and we've just watched the next two Back to the Futures. Yassine, what did you
I
think?
just felt like it's good if you watched it back then. Okay, let me put it to you this way. When I watched
get it.
when I watched Star Trek,
Yeah.
Star Wars rather, when I watched the first Star Wars, I was like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. It would be awesome if I was watching this in 1970, but I'm watching it right now. And
Do you feel the same way about Godfather? Like, I know you're talking about it because it's a period piece that's also from another period.
Right.
But, like, do you feel that way when you watch, Shawshank Redemption?
No, I think
Or
I know what you. I
Clockwork
think I know.
Orange?
No, it's completely apples and oranges.
I know
Because,
what
like,
Yassine
I'll tell you
saying.
why not. Because
let me finish talking.
Well, yeah, but I already know what you're gonna say. But go ahead.
There's a huge disconnect with regards to like special effects.
Yeah, that's
Right.
so.
Shawshank Redemption needs zero.
So Back to the Future isn't really a special effects.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all.
But
Except for
I think I know what Yassine's saying.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
completely.
Yassine's saying-
We've all had that same Star Wars moment. You're like, these graphics I can make at home. Like.
No, I think it's the suspension of reality. I think movie making sometime in like the 90s switched from like requiring you to suspend belief and reality
Everything.
to like
true.
requesting, viewership suddenly was like, I want to see actual reality, and like you cover every detail and question I might have about how this happens. Like
Yeah.
we don't want to like suspend reality or suspend belief in anything anymore. Like I watched an Indian movie the other day, and this is from 1979 called Mr. Natwarlal.
Oh man, I didn't see this one.
You'll know it when you see it.
Okay.
Amitabh is hunting a tiger.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yes.
Amitabh should be always
And
be
the tiger
hunting
is
a tiger.
horrible.
So the tiger is the good guy, turns out.
Okay.
But anyways, I'm not going to say anymore.
because I
We're
might
all
watch
gonna run
it.
out to watch
Your listenership may choose to watch it.
Yeah, no.
Mr.
You can go ahead and
Natwarlal,
you can go ahead and
1979.
ruin it.
Amitabh Bachchan
That's so funny.
and Gabbar Khan or Gabbar Singh or whatever his name was.
That guy was a great actor.
But I was watching that movie and I was like, none of this makes any sense. But that's because now I wouldn't suspend my belief
true.
in reality to watch a movie. I'd want it to fit with like what I know as the laws of physics and storytelling.
It's probably better that way though.
Why?
Because we used to just get away with such sloppy, like the police just shows up right there and like, why are they here already? Like it was just, there was a suspension of belief.
Yeah.
But like Indian movies take that to a different level.
They
where
did completely.
You're like, the
They did
tiger
completely.
takes a gun out and shoots the guy.
This
Star Wars was a little bit.
aren't there like the Sri Lankan movies where it's just there's no physics, everything
hear
is in
about
the
that.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Like just they're flipping cars. There's a dude on a horse, and then there's a truck in front
Yeah,
of him.
what's the actor's name? I can't remember it now.
He slides sideways with the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
underneath.
That's all I know about Tamil movies is
Yeah.
that.
I would love to watch one of those.
They're actually so.
Why don't you? Because for people who don't know, Asad does this yearly thing in his backyard at his parents' place.
Backyard Bollywood.
Yeah, where he
Backyard
gets a projector and speakers and good food, and everyone just sits outside and watches
food?
This year we're thinking an all-you-can-eat chaat bar. Make your own
That
chaat bar.
is going to be great.
So
So much pooping.
Could you
Do
like one of those movies?
Rajnikanth. That's the guy's name.
Okay.
Rajnikanth. He's the actor with the mustache that does the
Yes.
sliding on the horse.
We
Yes,
gotta
yes.
find his best work then.
Yeah.
Yes,
have
we
to
will.
do this.
Yes,
We will.
absolutely.
You know what?
Make this
It won't
happen.
even do one movie. I'll just do like a mashup of like his greatest scenes,
Pretty much.
and that'll be like the appetizer
Yeah.
Oh man.
before the movie.
Can we do that? We
Absolutely.
can make that happen.
would be amazing.
I don't see why not.
Sponsored
Sponsored by Crash and Flow.
and Chat.
We'll get a banner printed out.
There you
Deal.
go.
Put it out in front of your house.
Deal. You
Yeah.
guys can do a live podcast
Yes.
commentary
We could do a play-by-play for this thing.
commentary of Rajnikanth's
Wait,
stunts.
okay, hold on a second. Would it be like could we No, we would get a copyright thing. We couldn't like just have us in the corner and then the actual movie happening in the background. I'm pretty sure they'll
As your
sue
lawyer,
us.
let me worry about the copyrights.
Do you think there's gonna be
Alright,
a
let
Sri
me know.
Lankan company that could sue like any? They're like, we have to muster up some money. To,
I'm not worried about the Sri Lankan film company. I'm worried about Rajnikanth coming after us.
Oh, literally on a horse, who's riding a car that's riding a rocket.
He will he'll jump down from like the roof of my house into my backyard.
Yes.
Drop kick one of you into the fence, and you will fly through like
no.
6 fences.
Yeah, just
Jeez.
this is a Yassine silhouette.
Classic Rajnikanth.
You'll land in someone's lawn chair 6 houses away.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that's what I'm worried about. And he'll know it immediately too.
That'd be
Like,
funny.
You won't even
if,
need to
if
send
you're
notice.
in his company, the reality bends to his reality. so as long as he's around, I could go through 6 fences and to be okay. Like I get off, I shake it off, and come back in for a
He's like
fight.
his mutant power. Like, oh no, Rajnikanth. He's like, yeah, those weren't special effects. That's what I do when I'm around. Like, damn.
It's not CGI. None of it's CGI.
And that's one of the things I really miss about Indian movies. They were all like stupid, crazy. They still are to a certain extent. but
Literally,
back
you
in-
just said 2 minutes ago that you're very happy that we don't have to
it used
deal
to
with
be-
that
it
anymore.
I miss it. You know, at a point. Am I sitting wrong?
Calling you
I
out
don't
on
know how
your
to be comfortable.
inconsistencies. Are you
How wanna
man
sit,
spreading?
bro.
This is not man spreading.
This man folding.
I'm covering this. I'm playing this.
That is a man being folded.
Yeah.
I actually worked out for the first time in 3 years.
How are your
this week.
thighs? you squat?
Extremely sore. Yeah, I
Yeah.
squatted like a mad person. But yeah, everything is sore. I have gained 13 pounds since Eid. So that's happening.
Wow, you really did squat a lot.
Ate a lot more. I ate so much. I've been eating like 4 or 5 times a day.
That's good.
For our listeners, as context, I don't know, I'm sure you've mentioned this, but Sayed has lost an immense amount of weight over Ramadan.
I was
Yeah, yes.
132 pounds by the end of it. 132.
You were a child.
I was like a
Seriously?
baby. I could, yeah, somebody, I was worried about somebody picking me up and running off with me. Like, that could actually happen.
You're watching this guy for Eagles.
Yeah, I'm like, shit. Too small. You know what would be the worst? I would tell people, like, hey, yeah, it's, you know, they'd be like, hey, how's Ramadan going? Like, it's pretty rough, man. I weigh 132 pounds. And every time it's a girl that asks, she'd be like,
Lucky.
yeah, every single time. I'm like, I think I'm
Oh my
dying.
God.
There's something wrong. It's like, I wish I could do that. I'm like, in Ramadan, I'm like, are you trying to piss me off right now? It's like, this is not what I wanted.
You should go with something a little bit more serious. I wonder if the next time that happened, instead you just said, yeah, I have a tapeworm, so I've been losing a lot.
I know.
Well, yeah. What would they say?
I've been
Please share
kidding
that
myself.
tapeworm with me when you poop it out.
I want to make it really sad. I was like, I've been giving blood to just support myself. Okay? I have a problem. And then they wouldn't be like, oh, that's not lucky.
No.
See, they'd learned their lesson.
No, but then they'd go try it, and then you'd be in trouble for having to counsel someone.
I did have
But this
one
is
girl
how
message me once because I talked about weight cutting on the podcast.
Yeah.
And she messaged me, it's like, hey, can we have a discussion? I need some help, and it's very serious. So we had a chat, and she was like, it is my like 5-year anniversary in like 2 weeks, and I need to lose 20 pounds.
Wow.
Okay.
What should I do?
I thought she was coming up with a competition that she had
Yeah, no. And I was like,
Put on a garbage bag and run? Like, I don't know.
I was like, hey,
Yeah, what did
listen,
you
you
say?
can't healthily lose that much weight that quickly.
No.
But this is what you should do. It was just oatmeal and salads and cottage cheese and like jogging intervals. So just like basic stuff. And I was like, and here, this is what you do. Last 5 days, just drink distilled water. Just, very little water, some water, but like, and hit the sauna a little bit. If you're losing,
Sorry, go ahead.
if you're losing any more than 1.2 pounds on a day, it's too much. And no, she did it easily.
She
She
lost.
lost 15 pounds, and then she was like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Whoa.
And the last 2 days, she actually just drank and stuff. She
You've
did not
just
do-
stumbled upon like a new career trajectory for yourself.
right. Getting people ready for a wrestling tournament is literally what
This
I
is
did.
like rudimentary
Yeah.
stuff. That
I was
he's-
like,
I know, but
Yeah.
the thing is,
But people
people will
don't-
pay a lot of money to
people
have
do.
him
People do to
counsel
like.
them through it.
Oh yeah, if you're willing to call them every 3 days and just go over what like the next.
is that what you
stretch-
did?
Yeah, I checked in. I felt responsible. I told a woman to sit in a sauna every now and then. Never more than half an hour though. So.
I want to do that.
I'm
I want to do sauna
I'm gonna
treatment.
take you up on this.
Oh, yeah.
The next time I appear on this podcast, I want to be 20 pounds lighter.
If you actually want to do this, like if
Yes.
you hate your body enough, I can definitely help you.
I don't know about hate my body enough.
You have to hate your body. Okay, you don't have to hate your body.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit.
But if you're
So
really
unhealthy.
motivated, I can totally.
I've
do it.
already got confidence issues.
I
don't need
can.
to
I can.
hate my body.
I don't know how to do it for ladies' bodies. Just too different. For guys, though, generally, I can help.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think
Let's do it.
the most difficult.
Listeners, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Again,
Oh my
I
God,
think
you look so different.
I know. I lost 20 pounds.
Oh my God, how did
Say
we
it,
do it?
special
Thanks, man.
program.
No.
His
You'll-
tapeworm.
The benefit, I think, really is the accountability aspect. Because you can get oatmeal, you can lower your carbs, you can do the things that you need to do. It's just getting motivation for you to be able to do it. So like if
So someone calling you and making fun of you every 3 days. Will
Yeah.
Maybe
that should be the service. Like,
whatever motivation that you need, right? If some people need insults to work, then by all means, then do that. But like the thing is that I really think it's just accountability because like
Hold on, are we in a telethon? Why is there like an
I like you're not even acknowledging it. I'm just gonna talk over this.
Okay, so my dad has a thing for very like classic phones,
Okay.
right? Especially the one in the basement, which is the ones that you use a lot.
Is it rotary?
Is it rotary?
It used to be. That one broke. So he's got an old one. It is the old one. It's just the upgrade off of rotary to like the buttons. But the buttons are so hard to press that like you can like literally overflex your finger, right? So you use your thumb.
Jeez.
But yeah, he loves that phone.
That's nice.
He loved his rotary phone as well, which was really funny because there would be times where he'd be like, working or doing something in the basement, and then he needs to get a part for a car, and they gave him the wrong part, so he's pissed. So he needs to call the guy to get the right part, right? So he goes there and it leans in, and then he's just like ripping through, and it takes so long.
By the time he gets there, he's out of breath. He's like, you know how hard this has been? Fingers bleeding, asshole. Like, damn, uncle.
And if he misdials, he's got to start over.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
I think I know what I'm gonna get your dad now. And every time I come across one, I'm just gonna pick one up for him.
You would probably make his day.
Deal.
Yeah.
There you go.
He does like that old phone.
I think
we used to have like old phones upstairs everywhere. It's just the fact that he also discovered wireless phones.
Well, no, hold on. Were they all plugged into Ring? Because it's like, can you imagine if you have like 30 old timey phones plugged in upstairs? Someone calls the house. Your neighbors just hear
Oh my
everyone.
God.
No. The upstairs one were like the plastic, but they were all wired like cold phones. We moved into wireless very late in the game.
Really?
Yeah, where everyone had like VTech generation 1, 2, 3. Like no VTech.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the company.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
V something.
That's a something.
But like after a couple of years, then
That's a
finally
letter.
he's like, oh, there's wireless phones, right? Make it easier.
He's like, I can be in the backyard.
No, see, but the thing is that my dad solved that problem by
Buying the extra long cords?
no, not even. What he did was that like so the terminal that comes inside, like the actual wire that comes inside.
Yeah.
So he opened up the box and then he made a phone with a wire. He split it with like alligator clips. And so you put the alligator clips on the two studs, and you actually get you get another line. So he would take an old timey phone, splice the wire into alligator clips, and then when he goes outside, he just plugs it in. That's how he would have his phone.
Wait, you get
outside.
another line? You get like another phone
Oh my
number?
God.
Yeah, you just get like
Oh, another
it's just
phone.
it's like another it's another
hijack
phone
the
jack.
box.
It's another phone jack.
Your dad's so hood. He stole his own phone.
I know. Like he tapped into his own phone line.
And that was the first time I got electrocuted.
That wasn't the first time. There must be more to that story.
Yeah.
My dad did it. Talked to somebody and what else
Actually,
happened?
my
That was
dad-
like-
There's some steps here.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the first and only time. What happens is that, so after that became like a regular thing, we're going to go cut the grass. All right, go get the extension cords, get the phone, set the phone up. So, you open up the thing and you put your 2 alligator clips. What happens though, is that if the phone rings at the same time as you clipping the 2 wires, the current runs through you as well.
That's cool.
Right?
Do you ring?
No, you do not.
It'd be
But
cool
you
to
cannot
play-
let go. Like literally, as the phone was ringing, I was trying to let go, but I couldn't.
Oh, that'd be so cool if his dad was speaking and it coming out of Yasin's mouth. Like, oh no, this is exactly what I feared. And then Tom Hanks would play your dad in a movie later. Probably. Who would play you?
Have you been electrocuted?
Yeah, I have. In Pakistan.
Yeah, that's where you really get electrocuted. Oh man, it's a different
That's
voltage.
that's
It's a
220,
different
right?
voltage, yeah.
It hurts.
I was trying to plug something into an electric outlet,
Yeah.
and I kept missing the outlet, and the outlet was like, "F this! I'm just gonna go for him," and it
outlet got
shot
tired
out.
of it.
It
He's
shot
like,
out like a little bolt
You
and
want
like
it?
caught me, and I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, I've
Fell back.
I got the same Pakistani, and you know what the weird thing was? I got electrocuted trying to like put in a light tube,
Oh yeah.
and then a lizard. After I'm like, ugh, and I let go. A lizard ran out of the light tube. I'm like, you live here? Like, I just got. It felt like a lightning bolt. I've been
Yeah.
electrocuted here, and it's like, right.
Yeah.
Pakistani electrocution is like, this is how they kill people.
Wait, you got electrocuted with 120 over here? How was that? How did that feel?
It felt fine.
Yeah.
It didn't feel fine. It was a shock.
That's Sayed's weight loss technique.
But yeah, that's how I do it. It burns the fat, literally. Like, got these lightning marks.
Why do you smell like barbecue, Sayed?
I don't know. Just cooking. But yeah, it's not that bad.
Really?
I felt like maybe Pakistan was definitely younger, but like that, I remember that. I feel like that made me who I am today.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I still
things
think
have
about that.
changed.
Every time I plug something in, I still think about that
Yeah.
moment.
That's true.
If I'm like plugging something in the dark, I'm like, no, wait, I've been here before.
Yeah.
I'm not going down this road again.
You know what the crazy thing is in Pakistan? Oh, sorry, Yasin. But because I know it just comes to Pakistan somehow.
Every time we have Asad on.
Yeah,
Damn it, I'm
just
sorry.
But a lizard will somehow sometimes run out of thing, and your grandmother will hit it with a broom,
Yeah.
and it will release its tail.
Yeah. We have
And
lizards and Mauritius too.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go on.
that's a.
Hey,
like,
we have something we can like bond on.
There you go. We're all lizard countries.
I thought you're supposed to squash them. You don't use a broom. You like try to like hit them.
When you're a grandma.
Listen, man, they
Yeah.
do the best they can.
Yeah,
They
all
do the
right?
best they can.
Don't judge my grandma. So yeah, she hit the thing. It took off, but it left its tail, which freaked everybody out. And we had goats at the time, and the goats were like, "Oh, is that something cool?" And I was like, "Don't eat this goat. I can't eat you then."
Yes, what do you mean?
But aren't the lizards like about yay big?
Yeah, they're just
Oh
salamanders.
no,
Yeah.
my
Right?
tail
They're
was about.
salamanders.
No, that's an amphibian.
That's just something else altogether. No wonder you didn't know about the whale thing.
Just throwing some shade. Jeez.
This guy doesn't even know about animals, dude. He's not like us.
Why is
You
he
didn't
here?
have a subscription to National Geographic, kids. What do you know? No, but then what kind of lizards are they? They're
They're
little
just
geckos?
lizards.
What are they?
They're not geckos. They're just what's?
I'll find out.
It's just probably like brown shitty lizard. The genome.
Shitty lizard. That's the special name. That's
They
what
look gnarly
someone
though.
gave it. Yeah.
They were like, I was like, that looks scary.
Were you ever afraid of them?
Yeah, definitely.
Were you? So, are you afraid of mice?
No.
Are you afraid of cockroaches,
Not really.
spiders,
Not really. But like I could pick
lizards?
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
Lizards,
You answer all these
snakes,
questions,
dogs.
then you send those questions my way.
Okay. So this is interesting because you're not afraid of
Here.
all these things. It's only lizards.
No, so outwardly, I'm not afraid of anything.
I understand that you're man spreading. Like
right.
you can't be afraid of
exactly.
anything.
Like outwardly, I'm not afraid of lizards. I've held snakes. But if there's a snake around or even a dog around, I'm scared shitless. If there's a dog with me, I'm very happy.
Right.
But if it's like a bigger dog and it's focused in on me and
Right.
the owner's not realizing, there's nobody shitting themselves like me. I am, but I love dogs.
Before we move too much to dogs, it's a gecko.
Really?
It's
Let
a
me
gecko,
see.
also called the common
called
house gecko.
Gordon.
Yeah,
gecko.
that's about right.
Yeah, that's it.
If you want to name your
That's the one.
gecko.
Yeah, so it's
But
like,
there's like 10 of them in every tube light in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Somehow not getting electrocuted.
yeah.
And I've seen, I saw one in a video where one lizard dropped its tail and the other lizard ate it.
Yeah, well, it's free food.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, why are you gonna let that protein go?
Yeah, it's going to go bad.
Right. So you're not scared of like centipedes,
Not really.
none of that except for dogs. So you just got a thing for dogs.
Earwigs, man. Earwigs get me.
Really?
What's an earwig look like?
Dude, it's got like a scissor at the end of the
Well,
tail.
that's messed
Pincers.
up.
The
Yeah,
tail.
I've seen those. Those are messed up.
They're called earwigs, meaning they
I have
burrow
those in
in
my-
your ear.
That's
No,
what's
I'm
it called? Myth.
I'm 0 for 3 on like animal trivia
It's
today.
that is a myth.
Yeah.
That's a myth?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's never. I don't think they've ever even gone into an ear.
It probably did that once.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just
It's
like
got a
some
bad rap.
dirty person
Then
put it
why
in
would
their
they
ear.
call it an earwig?
I don't know.
Why would they call it just like a hand wig?
Wow, you went the wrong way. I could
Why
not.
is it
I
on
could
the
not,
hand?
Could
Why
not,
isn't it
could
just-
not, could not anticipate.
Out of all the name things and rename it.
And why is it still a wig?
Maybe it's just wig.
Like
Maybe-
scissor beetle. That
No,
would have been better.
maybe
Pincer
it's-
beetle.
Maybe it's Dutch. I don't
Fork
know.
butt.
Maybe it's
Fork
Dutch.
butt would even be better.
Fork
Hand
butt.
hand. No, it did not work.
Fine.
I don't like your names either, though.
No,
Fork
this is
butt.
just as bad.
Fork butt.
Yeah.
I think it's more accurate than hand wig.
I think it should have some creepy name. Everything that looks creepy should have a creepy name. Wig almost sounds like, Kristen Wiig. I don't know, but like something nicer than a earwig.
Hellraiser.
No, wigs for me normally means like serial killers have wigs.
Okay.
It makes me think of what's it called?
All right.
No.
Yeah,
Disguises.
it makes me think of Silence of the Lamb. Silence of the Lambs.
Why?
Because dude had a wig. He dressed up like a woman.
So, like, we're talking literal wigs. You're not talking like last name. Wig.
I know, but when I say
Earwig,
earwig,
wig, hair lamb, lamb man, Silence of the Man. I don't know. Just,
I think that was the first time I actually saw a wig.
and that movie was messed up. They shouldn't let kids watch that thing, and it affects you.
Just a bit.
That was the first time. How young were you when you saw it? That was the first time you saw.
I was pretty young watching that. Yeah.
Man,
I think I was at my cousin's place and he had one of those remember like
bueno.
pay-per-view was like the big deal back in like where Tyson fights and things like that. Let me try that again.
You used to get that box. You used to rent the
Yes,
box,
exactly that thing.
Put it on top of your TV.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Pay-per-view has always been big. It's just that's the thing, the box.
box.
They
Back
had
in the
Silence of the
I
Lamb on
got
that
you.
box.
you had access to movie channels.
So like after they watched the cricket match or whatever it is that they were watching on the box, if you stayed up late at night,
yeah.
there was like the adult shows
They sure were.
and Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was before bedtime that I watched that. So 9:00. But nonetheless, yeah, I got to watch it by myself. It was pretty crazy.
You watched Silence of the Lambs by yourself.
Were you just like happy that
all the lights were on.
Did you know what it was
This explains
about?
a lot about you
Yeah.
Whoa,
now.
what? Go ahead.
Everything.
Explain.
It explains every single thing about you.
I fully understand your obsession with Thursbees and beads now.
Oh, completely.
Absolutely.
I didn't
Everything makes sense.
Everything.
The beard,
He didn't have a beard.
obsession with like toys.
Making sure his hands aren't wet when he shakes
Oh,
someone's
like
hand.
yeah, everything's meticulous.
Yeah. Like this completely.
He has kits for everything.
his height
Height also is beneficial.
also like
The way he like even
I'm strangling my thigh.
you know what? It's really weird how much it actually makes sense now.
yeah.
Cool. Did any of you watch a really crazy, crazy movie too young?
Child's Play.
It.
Oh, did you see the trailer for the new one?
Too
No,
scary.
I can't.
Too-
I can't.
scary.
I can't watch this shit.
I was like, I'm gonna go get some jalapeno poppers. I'm done. I want to watch this.
I want to watch Crazy Driver,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
it's the
previews
beginning,
were
yeah.
all scary as heck.
Yeah, because October is coming
I've
up.
sleepwalked the last 3 nights.
Oh, dude, no.
Last
don't watch
night,
those.
I woke up and I had pants on while I went to sleep in pajamas. And then I went into the living room and my pajamas were sitting there as if like somebody just took them off and just left them. They were like perfect circles. Meaning I walked in there at some point, took my pants off and just walked back. And then put jeans on and went to bed.
Well, I mean, you weren't being chased by
No, because they were
clown or
put in
anything.
such a. I was like, Farrah was like looking at them. She's like, wow, just like you just left him here and just walked away naked. I was like, yeah.
Okay.
Good thing you put pants on before you wandered outside.
All right, so you mentioned a dog phobia. I had a clown phobia when I was a kid.
So
a lot of
it
people
would
do.
have been a terrible movie for you.
It would have been horrible. I wouldn't be able to stand it.
people have
But
it. A lot of people
not,
do.
Not only the clowns freak me out. Okay, so first of all, my parents were like, "Yassine, we got a surprise for you." Right, I was a kid.
God.
Right, we're gonna take you to a place you're gonna enjoy it. Right, and so I'm getting dressed, and I'm thinking to myself, right, we're going to an uncle's place that's really far away, and he had like 3 sons that were really cool, and they let us play hockey in the basement. It was freaking awesome, right? So that's where I thought we were gonna go.
Yeah.
My parents, right? They bring me to a circus.
Oh my
So
god.
a circus came to town in Mississauga, so we went.
Oh, this is here.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was in Mauritius for some reason.
No.
A Mauritian circus.
Yeah, I was like,
oh, man.
I was like, there'd be a bear there and a goat.
And there was clowns.
That's it, though.
Everywhere.
Nothing else.
It was clowns everywhere.
What?
And like my parents were like beaming because they're like, they got to take their son to
Right.
circus for the first time. He's going to enjoy the crap out of this, right? And I don't want to like let them down. I knew enough to know that they were really excited for me.
Right.
So
So
I
you
was
were-
like, yeah, I was trying to have fun. And then I remember till this day,
Yeah.
there was a clown that was walking through the crowd. You could see all of him because he was on stilts.
Shit.
Ugh. And then as he walked by, his feet. So not his actual feet, but just the feet of the stilt, right? Was about like this big. But it was clown shoes, but it was just like maybe 5 inches. And
That's creepy.
like putting together
The disproportionateness
yes,
of his...
yes, it was a bit much. Thankfully, inside the tent, not that many clowns, more elephants and stuff like that. So it was okay. But Clowns don't freak me out now, but it totally freaked me out when I was a kid.
Well, let's test that theory. Bring them out, boys.
Your dad helped us organize this.
He called someone on his rotary phone.
Did you have a phobia when you were a kid? Work through it?
No, my parents' phobia was me because I was not afraid of things. Like I would wander off with people
With
and
confidence.
in places with complete and utter trust in the world in a way that is not healthy even to this day.
I like that. That is so funny.
Still going to get into a van with someone who's asking for
seriously,
candy?
Seriously,
Or
I'd be like,
offering
ooh,
you candy?
Ooh, cupcake. I'll follow that.
That is
You'd put a line of Skittles in front of me and I'm following it.
I
What
can see that.
What about you? Phobias?
Just Chucky, Child's Play. That doll scared the crap out of me. Still
No,
does.
not movie-based ones. Like real, like.
Well, you said
anything-
dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, but that didn't develop until I saw somebody get mauled by a dog.
Have you been bitten by a dog?
No, but I was playing frisbee with my buddy Chris in Houston, and I threw him a frisbee, and a pit bull met him, and took his forearm clean off. Like you could
What?
see the bone, and then it went away. It just took a big chunk of meat and went away.
Just took off.
And since then, but I love dogs. Like
So
if
wait,
somebody
no,
has a
no,
dog-
I'm not worried about I'm worried about your buddy Chris now.
Oh yeah, no, he was never able to really throw footballs well after that, unfortunately.
It
So-
took a chunk of his arm out.
Yeah, it became half the size of its arm. Like once it even healed up, it was just like a big 40% gone.
And he had no idea whose dog it was or anything.
Whoever's it was like we were in the area had dogs, but no one's gonna come and be like, "Did my dog brought this hand home? Is this yours, sir?" So
Man,
yeah,
Chris.
so now I'm nervous around dogs, but I go to dog parks and chill. Yesterday I went to a dog park just to chill.
I've been bitten by a dog.
Oh, see, he knew what he was doing.
I was.
You kind of deserve it, though.
Yeah, no, I definitely deserved it. I was. Remember, I don't know if you do you remember Jump Rope for Heart?
Yeah, of course.
Right. So I was walking around collecting toonies from people in the neighborhood. I rang a doorbell. Must have been 8 years old.
Yeah.
Woman opens the door. From behind her comes shooting down the hallway. Her little rat of a dog. Must
Right.
have been a Jack Russell Terrier or some other hunting dog like that. It leaps and sinks its teeth into my thigh
Wow.
and then falls off and then runs back. And I'm like, I just got bit by a dog. So I went home,
Yeah.
didn't tell anyone.
That-
And I'm 8, so I wear short shorts.
All right.
But I'm sitting around in the house. A few days later, I don't know why that makes sense. But in those days, people wore short shorts. It was the early 90s.
Keep going. I want to hear more about this story.
So I'm sitting around the house a few days later, and my parents see this bite mark on my leg. Obviously, they're wondering what the hell that is. So I tell them, I was like, "Oh, I was doing the jump rope for heart, and a dog bit me. No big deal.
You
I didn't
get
think it was a
infected?
thing. I didn't think it was a thing. I thought people get bitten by dogs all the time. I thought I was
Right.
I was
It happened to me.
I was-
You're very trusting, obviously, from your earlier comment. You're like, it probably happens to everybody.
Yeah, I was like, mailmen get bitten all the time. Look
Yeah.
on TV. And so they freaked out.
Right.
Yeah.
They were like, we need to get you shots. We need to take you to the doctor. We need to go talk to this lady.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had the dog put down or not. I have no
Oh
idea
my
what happened
God.
after that. I was just like, okay.
Did they give you any shots?
I think I got a shot. I don't remember what it was.
It wasn't rabies because you would have been dead by then.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was rabies. I don't think I had. I think this dog was clear. I
Yeah.
think this dog was
No,
okay.
obviously.
He had an STD free.
Yeah, this dog was STD free.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been bitten by a dog.
I've been
I thought you were going to say, I've been a dog. He was looking at me funny.
I've bitten
I
a
don't
dog.
stand for that shit.
pecked by a chicken. That's the worst I've gotten.
All right.
Pecked by a chicken.
Yep, that's it. that is the extent of an animal attack.
Were you how did this happen? Where were you in a situation where a chicken got close enough and you stood there long enough to get pecked by it?
Where to peck you
very
first
simple.
off?
Very simple. Mauritius,
Okay.
You could just stop there.
and feeding the chickens rice,
Okay.
Did you freak out?
but not throwing it quick enough. So they got
They got angry with you.
they got angry because obviously there's more rice in the hand.
Because the
was landing
chickens,
They
even
know.
though it's Mauritius, the chickens are New Yorkers. they don't like waiting in lines.
You're like, this
Clearly
guy.
and so they just
Hey, I'm over
my
here.
hand. pecked my hand.
I don't know what.
That's not that bad.
I'm driving here.
That's not that bad.
No. What's your animal attack?
I've been yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
So no, I have three car-related animal attacks in the last like 2 years.
Car-related animal attacks.
Car-related animal attacks.
3 of them.
3 of them. I've been hit by a deer. Not me hitting the deer. Like I'm driving along. The deer decides I don't like the color of this guy's car.
Screw this guy.
Head rushes me from the side, crashes right into my side door, like my driver's side. Totals my car.
No way.
Totals my car. Totals herself too.
Oh, really?
Wait, hold on a second. It hit the side door?
Yeah, so it like I saw like the last look of this deer like looking into my eyes right before it struck.
Yeah.
Still like haunts me. But yeah, it smacked into the side of like the car and like just its whole body against the side of the car.
With enough force to for
total my car.
For people who don't know, for you to be able to get the quote unquote total a car, that means that whatever accident happened had to have affected the interior frame of the car. So like smashing a door is one thing, but this deer hit your car with such strength, and with such an impact that it actually bent a portion of the frame of your car.
Front quarter panel, side, my driver's side, driver's side door,
big deer,
rear door, and then part of like the back bumper off.
Yeah,
how big was
incredible.
This deer? Was he?
Were you driving a Mini or?
Is this deer in his own car? Like, is that what happened?
No, it was like even like the police officer. So we pulled over. It was Farina and I in the car. We pulled over, and it was right down the street from Neil's parents' house.
Okay.
And so we pulled over, and it stank first of all because like the deer basically exploded.
Mm-hmm.
The police came, and she came up to us and was like, "Are you guys okay?" And I'm like, "Yes." She looked at the side of our car, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "If the police officer says this," and she's like, "You know, sometimes the deer lives, and we have to go put it down. So let me go check on the deer." And she pulled out her gun.
Right.
Because like there's no other way to put down a deer. That's
I just find it like it's very, because the deer is not close to you.
Yeah.
So so the fact that she would pull out her gun before finding the deer is like
the deer was close. The deer was within 20 meters.
Pulled out the gun.
But it's dark. It's not well lit. This is like Dundas and Waterdown. Like it's not well lit.
Yeah.
So she goes, and like I'm waiting for like a gunshot, and she just comes back. She's like, "Nope, you did that deer. That there's no need to put that deer out. You did it." So that was one.
Okay.
Jeez.
Earlier this year, in Pakistan.
Okay.
We're driving
It
along.
just adds so much more danger all of a sudden. You're like, anything can happen. It could be any animal.
It's an armed deer.
So unlike Canada, where like the prolific birds are sparrows and robins, and basically that's it, and seagulls.
Pigeons.
Over there, you have giant eagles.
Massive eagles.
Well, I don't know if they're eagles or falcons or whatever, but they're giant birds of prey.
They'll just take off a pigeon. They'll be like, I'm having a pigeon today.
Yeah.
And just like,
really?
no.
Like all over the place.
Like people's pets and like get kidnapped.
Yeah, and they're almost, I feel like you could look up at any time and it'd be like 1 or 2. At least at any point, and sometimes it'll be like 8 or 9 for no reason.
Just anywhere. Any vertical you look, there's at least 8 or 9.
Really?
That's
all
so
the
very
time.
common.
So anyways, this is like really early morning, 6:30 in the morning. We're driving along from the airport the day I land there. And we're driving along, and there's this eagle like in front of us flying towards us, and then it swoops and crashes into our windshield.
Right.
Just like that. Like, and eagles don't do that. They're not stupid creatures.
No, he's obviously was done with life.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. He decided to end it on our car or what, but he crashed in our windshield. Like there was a little bit of a splatter of blood, and then he like rolled off the top of the car. The driver, the people in the backseat were all like, "What the hell? This never happens. How did that happen? What is going on?" Then the same thing happens to me yesterday with another bird.
Oh, damn. They look really nice.
Yeah, they're brown and eagly.
They're brown and eagly.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I'm driving along the 401, and some medium-sized bird, something black, flies.
Crow raven.
I'm like driving this way. It flies like from the passenger side of my car into like the front of my car. So my car's moving forward, and it flies like and into my windshield, and then bounces off. And I mean, I don't know what happened to it.
Oh my God.
But this is how it happened to me 3 times. I'm either beginning to think that animals hate me, or they love me so much that they need to be close to me.
No, I'm gonna go with hate.
All right, fine.
Yeah. Also, you should stop like eating bird seed.
That could be it. I should stop like shampooing my
Just
hair
putting
with
in
like
your hair.
birdseed. Yeah, probably.
Wouldn't that be funny? He's like, oh, that's what I did. I know. I didn't realize this would happen.
How could I know?
Someone told me it was a great weight loss mechanism. I don't know.
I was once petting a cat that I didn't know. It just showed up at my door. I was petting it, and I didn't realize the cat had a scar. It's an outside cat. It's not anybody's cat.
Right.
So you just got into a fight and you're touching
Yeah,
its-
I literally did this,
Yeah.
and I looked down, and this cat jumped up my arm. It went and like got up all the way to my shoulder, and then
Looking for that
jumped
neck?
off me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was
and,
trying. It was trying
and
to.
it had all these marks, and I was like, ugh. And I closed the door, and I was like, what just happened?
So
and
you,
then-
because you attacked its scar,
I didn't realize it.
man.
I was feeding it a chicken.
You ever been followed home by animals?
Yeah.
That's weird, right?
Immersions, they're groups of dogs that kind of walk around at nighttime.
Yeah.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. If you're going from
I'm
one
picturing the
house to another
hyenas
house at
from Lion
night,
King.
you kind of walk with. Back then, you don't have to do that anymore. But back then, you kind of walk with a stick,
Yeah.
just so you can
A
beat
guy
off
in
some
India
dogs.
last year was killed by dogs, a pack of dogs.
No way.
Yeah. I read about it. Just it was nighttime. The guy was a little bit older, like an older guy, I guess, and pack of dogs just took him out.
Thing
Can you
is that
imagine? Jeez.
the packs of dogs in Mauritius generally get fed pretty regularly by
Uh-huh.
just regular
I mean,
people
that-
like outside.
That's why there's packs of dogs. Maybe
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
stop feeding them.
Maybe you should stop feeding those dogs and take out a gun.
Some people like dogs.
Some people like that.
Yeah, some people like things that might kill
Dear
you.
listeners, we do not
If
condone
nobody-
violence against any
I
animals.
don't.
Yeah,
But
we
I'm
also-
very super pragmatic about this kind of stuff.
Well, they have a squirrel hunt right now in Quebec, right?
What?
They have like open season on squirrels right now.
You could just kill as many squirrels.
Everybody's like an Elmer Fudd, like.
Yeah, no,
Be
seriously,
quiet.
and like so now restaurants are offering like squirrel pie.
Oh,
and, like all
I
sorts of
like
things.
that.
Wait. They would eat them. They
You
eat
can
them.
eat everything.
No, I understand that. But the thing is that the idea of eating a city-dwelling animal seems like not good. Like you wouldn't want a pigeon from New York. Because
So
It's
interesting
true.
story.
It's true.
Probably eaten, like,
pigeons
3
ended up in
condoms.
New York because they were brought over from the old world as food, and then they just bred prolifically, and
Yes.
now
Right.
they are New York City pigeons, like
true.
in Animaniacs.
Rock pigeons is what they were called.
okay, wait, hold on. I just want to go back to the squirrel thing.
Yeah,
So what is it? People got like pellet guns going around just trying to shoot squirrels?
yeah. I imagine. I mean, pellet guns probably. I'm pretty sure people are trying like more interesting things like crossbows.
Okay, yeah, but it is Canada, so
You know
it's
how
not like
hard
everyone.
it is to hit a thing with a crossbow?
People will probably take that as a challenge.
Okay,
Probably.
have you shot a crossbow?
Yeah, I've shot a crossbow.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I got into archery for a little small time.
I remember that.
And I went to the place that had a crossbow. And I'm like,
But I thought you had a longbow.
I did. I had a recurve bow, but they had a crossbow. And if you asked them and you're super cool, they would let you shoot it.
you
But it's so hard to load it. You need like a separate piece to like
Yeah.
pull that thing back. There's nothing. You cannot do this and then shoot something.
Unless you're Rambo.
But it's practically a gun. It had a scope on it.
It's a gun.
It's a gun.
It just shoots a very long bullet.
Yeah.
So interestingly, if you ever get arrested and convicted of something,
Mm-hmm.
and they, as a result of your conviction, impose like a firearms prohibition
Yeah.
on you, the section that says actually lists crossbow as one of the things you are not allowed to have. They're like any firearm, weapon, crossbow. Like they have to specify
agree.
crossbow just in case.
it's practically a gun.
People are like, you didn't say crossbow.
But regular bows are fine.
regular bows apparently.
So a regular bow is about 50 to 100 pounds, depending on how much you're pulling. But a crossbow is over 300 miles per hour. Like it's extreme, not 300 miles, but it's 300 pounds of weight going into the string, pushing it forward. So it's
Okay.
practically a gun. Like at the speed it's going at, you don't have to be close.
A crossbow bolt will go through Kevlar.
I could see that.
So
I've seen a guy shoot an arrow through a bear. Came out the other end. It was crazy.
You've what?
Yeah.
with a regular bow, though, right?
Cam Haines. Yeah.
Yeah. I seen that.
That was messed up. That messed my
Because
day up.
it
Yeah, the
and
bear
it
just like
takes off.
Are you
and it
serious?
just went. Woof.
Yeah, it
And he
goes.
had
It
it
cuts
has-
right through you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You see fur flying,
That's in
and the bear ran away, and it was like, "Oh, I'm dead," and it just keeled over and died.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of blood loss immediately. A bow goes through you, you're
Things-
bleeding a lot.
Yeah.
So
Oh man, this turned dark pretty quickly.
no, it's not dark.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not really. Sometimes bear need to die. No, I'm kidding. I would hate to. The thing is, I don't
If
like.
you're gonna eat the bear, then the bear needs to die.
I guess so.
Also, if the bear attacks you like that lady, that bear needed to die.
So what if you hunted squirrels with bears?
here, squirrels are assholes, right?
Wait. Hold on a second. He said hunt squirrels with bears. What are you gonna
training
do?
these bears?
Throw a bear at a squirrel? Like
Yeah, I imagine some kind
Point
of
'em.
catapult.
a trebuchet.
Trebuchet. You just
Like a
load
crossbow
in-
that you load a squirrel and then shoot it at a bear, and it's like, it's already pissed off getting shot from a crossbow. By the time it gets there, it's all rabid.
Squirrels are little pricks, though.
Yeah,
Really?
man.
They've never bothered me.
No, man. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot in Toronto. At least there's a ton of them. So even I'm at the park, one will just come by. He's like,
They got a lot of attitude.
yeah, he's just like, you got food for me?
I've
Yeah.
never seen a squirrel that even comes close to me.
Really?
Like pigeons are more of an asshole than squirrels are.
Pigeons are just
Or seagulls, excuse me.
seagulls are definitely
Seagulls are
assholes.
assholes.
Yeah.
Pigeons, I don't feel like assholes. They're just too
Aloof.
stupid to
Yes.
be.
They don't even know.
They're like,
I had one pigeon come at me where I was literally eating pizza and it flew at me and I was like, ah, and then it was this close to actually hitting me and then it flew off. Raccoons are the only things that scare me.
what?
Oh, raccoons are
I
scary
love
as shit.
raccoons
Because they
Dude.
they square up.
because of the television show. The raccoons.
I don't know the show.
No, I don't know. This
Really?
No, I'm sorry. I'm a grown ass man. Tell me more.
You guys never saw this cartoon as a
No,
kid?
no. Sorry, dude.
Move on.
Oh.
It's a raccoon. It's an environment. It's like when environmentalism was first becoming a thing,
Okay.
sometime in like the early to mid
Like
90s.
Captain Green.
Like Captain
America.
Captain Planet.
No, Captain Planet.
Planet. There we
Sorry,
go.
Captain America.
You guys are
Captain
terrible.
Planet is the guy.
Captain Green. No, you idiots. Captain America.
Yeah. I'm like so
Captain
confident in my wrongness too. Let me correct you with my wrongness.
Earth, wind, water,
That was great.
fire, hot.
I like that heart guy.
Yeah.
He would just help like talk to animals and shit.
Yeah.
It's like
And he was for some reason Latino.
no, he was like native.
Was he native?
Was it a
Yeah.
full show? I thought it was this thing
Oh,
that
no.
happens between shows.
No, it was half
That
an
was a
hour.
TV show.
Oh, okay. Never.
Oh, yeah.
Never
And it was a
watched
great TV show.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can
Very
like I
informative.
still sometimes listen to the theme song for that.
Oh, definitely.
I got plenty of things to do.
But like lots of superheroes, everybody's got a ring with a power, and when they can't win, and every single episode at the end they can't win, with their powers combined, comes out this super white guy with green hair.
Every single episode. It was like they were
Yeah.
like, what are we gonna do this time?
I was
I
like,
don't
they
know.
could really wrap this shit up early if they call him at the beginning. Like, hey, we're stupid. I know we got these rings, but we don't know what to do.
Each episode is 3 minutes long.
Like,
But there was a period of time where there was a whole bunch of cartoons that were focused on like environmentalism. Between Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest,
that's true.
the raccoons, you had Smoggies, you
I
had
don't know most of these shows you're talking about.
you had Captain Planet.
I know Captain Planet.
You don't know Smoggies?
No.
Listeners, this isn't a live call-in show, but please call them afterwards
Really?
and lodge your complaints about the
am I
fact
alone
that
here?
Sayed does not know.
I'm sorry.
Smoggies.
What?
You know any of these cartoons? Smoggies?
No.
Raccoons, even, of course?
No. Of course not.
Fern Gully? I know Fern Gully, but...
No.
Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest.
Nope.
Ah.
There
Yeah.
was a lot of environment.
I was big.
themed-
I was
themed
big on
stuff
the
for you.
environment as a kid, man.
Okay.
As a kid,
so you were
yeah,
seeking this stuff out. No, we were just watching X-Men.
No,
Yeah.
it was like, but it was like sandwiched between X-Men and
No, it
like,
wasn't.
and like cops.
No, I grew up with the same channel
You
channel
have
selection
different
as you
channel-
did.
You have rich kid channels? This is the kid we didn't like at school. That guy has different channels than us.
I had Kojiko cable.
Shit.
No, I can't believe you guys don't know the show.
No.
Were you watching it like,
fine.
normal time, Saturday mornings?
No, it was through the HBO box right after the pay-per-view.
See,
Nice.
that's how he
So
was doing
I watch Silence of the Lambs. You're watching environmental.
Environmental protection
Oh my
cartoons.
God. You know what? Land Before Time was on Eid in Pakistan.
That's a great movie.
So Eid,
good
you
to
would
cry.
you go pray, you come home, eat sheer khurma, and then they showed Land Before Time and Back to the Future. And that's how Pakistan, how stupid their television services, they start with Back to the Future 2, and then go to 1, then go to 3. And you're like, what happened? Oh, I get it. Why'd they do that? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Somebody
Bunch of
mixed up the
assholes.
tapes.
They're like, we'll just show them 2 first. It's okay. They don't speak English. Just put that cassette in there.
Maybe someone was a Tarantino aficionado.
Right.
Right?
Oh, somebody will find this really clever.
Did they censor the
back.
kissing?
I didn't see any kissing,
Did
so
they-
yeah, probably.
Did they censor the punches?
No punches.
There was
or-
like 3 punches total thrown.
Biff
in
got
those 3.
punched a couple. I think Biff got punched every time.
Every movie, 1 punch to
Yeah.
Biff.
To Biff.
That was the only punch.
Jeez. Anyways, he hasn't seen it now. We've ruined the Biff punching. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure that makes the movie unwatchable.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it.
All right.
Which one?
But any of them, just because you have to watch them. It's not even Star Wars, in my opinion. I feel like Back to the Future were decent movies.
They were good.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
were good.
All right, I'll watch it.
I might be wrong
hardly
now
good.
because I haven't seen it. In
What's
10
your favorite 90s movie?
Ooh. Pulp Fiction? Kind of easy.
Oh, okay.
Jurassic Park.
Let's try this. Favorite 90s movies, but more on like the
kid
kid
side?
side. Yeah.
Oh,
Honey, I Shrunk the
Kid
Kids
side.
for me.
great one. Great movie.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But that's 80s. I don't know if that's 90s.
Ooh, is it?
I'm pretty sure that's 80s. Rick Moranis looked really young in that movie.
I really liked Howard the Duck, but that might be 80s too.
And I don't think that's a kid's one.
Well,
That is definitely
it
not
was
for
on
kids.
in another Eid.
1989. Well done, brother.
Thank you.
just on that cusp. I still call that a 90s movie. However.
Kirby.
No, honestly, I think for me, Home Alone was huge.
yes.
Home Alone was huge. Everyone wanted to live like him.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it's
Also,
a great movie.
Homeward Bound. Sorry, go ahead.
Disney's Homeward Bound is a great film. Disney's Blank Check.
I didn't watch Blank
I didn't
Check.
Blank Check,
I
yeah.
thought Homeward Bound was okay.
I liked Homeward Bound a lot.
What I like about don't squeeze that. What I like about Homeward Bound was there was a black dog, like one girl dog that was black.
No,
like
no.
everybody else was it a cat?
It was a cat.
Yeah, just for like it's
And
a dog.
The cat's name?
I don't remember.
Sassy.
Oh God!
It's like Scary Spice all over again. This is terrible.
I realize how far we've come in far as like racial undertones since
Yeah.
the 90s.
Yeah, when you watch an old movie, you're like,
Things
"Woo!"
that were
No.
perfectly acceptable back then.
Yeah.
Now you're just like, that's
Jeez.
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura was great.
That was one of the best.
Yeah,
I
but if
love
you
that
watch it
movie.
again,
I am
you're like-
wearing Ace Ventura's shirt
Yes, you are.
right now.
but
This
not
is this is
ironically.
the actual shirt from the movie.
Shut up, really?
No.
No.
No, Yassine, it's not the actual shirt from the
Wait,
movie.
if out of all the people, you would be the guy.
Oh wait, Tremors.
That was 80s.
Was it?
Check that.
I want to say that was 90s.
Can we get confirmation on this?
Tremors is great.
Tremors-
They're making a remake.
Yeah, but they don't have to. They can just
Tremors is another movie that scared the hell out of me.
really.
I had
scared
trouble
you. I
walking on the
loved it.
ground for a while. Like I would hop from couch to table to couch to try and not make noise on
Man,
the ground.
I saw this animal when animals
1990.
attacked.
1990?
Eat that
Aw,
90s
snap.
tremor.
You win.
But it was great, and like I'm not excited about any of them just because the second and the third one were like, all right, we can just stop. We made it. We're good.
They're good.
Like I wouldn't mind watching if they made Tremors the same everything, but with new actors. If it was like George Clooney
Yeah.
and I don't know whoever.
No. It'd still have to have Kevin Bacon.
It would probably. And Kevin Bacon still's.
He still looks the same.
Yeah, that guy
weird.
does not age. Does not age.
He
Like a
drinks
Keanu
the-
Reeves.
He drinks the blood of children. That's how you
I
say
keep bumping it. Sorry. All right, I'm not comfortable.
Stop mansplaining.
I'm so uncomfortable. I don't know what else.
Put
to
your
do.
feet up.
Sorry, man.
Relax.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Why
there
you
go.
gotta stress, man? Like
I'm all sore.
feel at
everywhere.
home here. Our podcast is your podcast.
Oh, thanks. I said. Are you Crash or Flow? I know I can give you the same questions.
We
never-
embody a little bit of both. In,
We wear Hawaiian shirts. We have to have something with crashes and flows. The water is it's in our souls.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. I thought the mask sucked.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I thought all the Batman movies sucked.
Did you watch
Batman movies
Mask
are good,
late? Did you watch it when it first came
I
out?
first when it first came out,
and you still didn't like it?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I think The Mask and Ace Ventura supplied enough one-liners for every hyped up on sugar 10 to 13-year-old boy in North America for the duration of the decade.
Yeah, it would have been annoying if we weren't that age. Because for us, I was like, "Oh, this is cool," but I'm like, as a grown-up, if there was just one thing that kids were saying all the time.
All the time, everywhere you go, you hear somebody stop it. Everywhere.
Even
Or what was
now.
what was the Ace Ventura? Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Like everywhere
Yeah.
for the duration of the decade.
What's it
guy.
called? What's it called? Did that too? Austin Powers.
Yeah, there was
Yes.
A lot of quotables from that.
Yes, I think it's like far as quotables. I think those are probably three of the top.
3 of the tops.
Pulp
Beside like Luke, I am your father. I guess a lot of movies.
But see, there's like
that's
one.
that's,
quotable.
that's an iconic line. That's not
That's
the whole
one quotable
Yeah,
from
but
a
that might-
3-movie
But
trilogy.
that might be the thing that's been said the most of
correct.
all time.
Correct. But I'm saying like value for minute in terms of quotables.
Right. No, I agree. Plus,
Mike
how
Myers.
The
annoying they are.
concentration of
Mike Myers and Jim Carrey.
yeah, they
Two
They did it.
Canadians.
They did it.
about Two Canadian
They did it.
comics.
We haven't produced comics in a while.
Canada? No, man. Canada has some great comics out there
Right now?
right now. Yeah.
Like, I mean, besides
Colin Mockery.
Russ,
oh man, it'll take me a while, but there's a lot of good Canadian comics.
are we still doing it big? Are we still like?
It's just hard to tell because comedy is never like like it's not like, oh, this is a good Toronto comic, but like on even Netflix, there's a lot of Canadian comics on there.
Really?
Yeah, Toronto is a hub. People used to like come from other parts of Canada to Toronto, and it's a good jumping off point compared to even California and New York
No way.
for stand up.
No way.
100%. Oh yeah. There's more bars, there's more mics, there's just more eyes on it. You can make a living. Like I know comics that make a full-time living. Toronto's hot. Yeah, it's just
So tell me about so I've always been curious, like how do comics go from like one day being like I want to start practicing stand-up comedy
You start
to
hitting-
then making a living? Like what is that? What are the steps along the way? What is that trajectory like?
it's so easy and so difficult at the same time. Because
Things have to go right.
you have to be very good at what it's the three things that are very important are talent and how much you're going to work at it,
Right.
and also the timing. And then after that, you need a city that's going to support comedy, where you have shows where you can get better night by night, and then also have like an infrastructure where there's a network of clubs that like need good talent. And then after that, you need people who can push you to, have your own special. And nowadays, it's a lot easier to do that.
Because you can just
You
film
can-
it on your.
You can make your own.
GoPro.
I have like there's a guy who's mentoring me right now, and he has his own special, and he put it on YouTube. He produced it himself, put it up on YouTube, and now he tours.
So how does one go from appearing at open mic nights with like 4 people in the audience, 2 of them who are playing on their phones,
Yeah.
to then
Been
getting
there.
paid
Right.
by somebody, even if it's a few dollars? Like, how do you go from like paying money to participate to then getting paid to participate? Like, what is that transition like?
It's like it's all you have to do is, and I think it's more of a meritocracy than anything else. Is that you get a bit, you work on it, you add things to it, you perfect it, and then you start doing it more and more in front of bigger and bigger clubs, and as long as you're really good and you can draw a crowd, people want you. Like,
So it's like, so you have to be able to show that that a crowd will come see you
yeah.
before someone will be like, I will pay you to come to my club. And
Also
perform?
helps having like signature things that like people, you're like, oh, that's that guy's thing. We got to go watch
like
him.
a ventriloquist dummy.
Something like that. Something that, a funny way of talking, an accent. Every comic that actually has a thing. And you can almost be like, oh, that's her thing is, she's self-deprecating about her weight, or his thing is, this racial stuff, or yeah, and even the bigger ones, you can almost pinpoint their key bits, and it's like, oh, that's generally the kind of stuff he likes to do. And when you go, you want to see him do just that, because it's almost like small genres within itself, So
Right.
yeah, you always expect to laugh, but Kevin Hart, you want him to do Kevin Hart stuff, Louis, and you know what? Even on the lower level, you want comics to just be themselves. And when a comic can get like comfortable enough doing open mics over and over again, where he's not trying to just make the crowd laugh, this is how he views something, and it's actually funny. You just want to see their interpretation. You'll laugh with them. You'll laugh your ass off, even if you didn't agree with it. Just seeing a good comic interpretation of something they find funny will make you laugh like 8 out of 10 times.
So club programmers will go to other clubs and watch.
Oh yeah.
comics.
And they'll have a network, like, somebody killed here, the next play, like, yeah, there's different producers.
And they'll share people like
They'll
'cause
try.
I imagine it's pretty competitive.
It is very competitive.
They want to lock. If you're really funny and you're drawing crowds, they want to lock you in.
Then you should be a regular there. They should make you a paid regular there. So like right now, and I have friends that are comics that can like, barely scrape a living, but like they aren't that funny. So
Right.
like once you get funnier, and there's levels to this thing, that
Right.
yeah, you might have to go to New York later on.
Yeah.
But like Toronto's a great place to do stand up and get paid for.
But I feel like there's the part of being funny is people laugh more because you're famous or well known, or they think you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You
how
only
do you
get that
how
at
do you
the
get
beginning.
that?
It's not really true though.
No.
So I'll tell you how. Like so, like let's say if you have a thing. Let's say if you're a Muslim hijabi comic, or
which I am.
right, or like a brown comic with a beard who
Which
does
I am
like
not.
Islamic stuff in comedy, you might get more eyes on you at the beginning. Or if you're a celebrity, they'll come to your show and at the beginning they'll laugh, but it's very easy to lose them. And once you lose, because the standards are higher if they expect you to be a certain way.
Yeah.
So it takes, you got to be on the, you can't just like not do stand up for a month and try to do stand up. So all specials that you see,
Yeah.
what they do is like they peak and they like, before that special, there were probably 4 consecutive specials, right? So that was on Sunday. They recorded Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, and Friday with the same clothes.
Right.
So you get everything just right to do it.
Right.
And that's the same thing for stand-up. Like if people are coming out to see you because you have a shtick of any sort, whether you're famous or you have like a specific thing that people are drawn to at the moment, man, they like you at the beginning, but you still gotta like, you gotta get
keep
it.
them.
Yeah, you gotta keep them. It's much harder.
So you were saying 4. Are you also saying that they record across the 4? Mm-hmm. Okay. There's some that do that, some that don't. Tony Hinchcliffe did that one shot.
Right.
Freaking crazy.
What?
Okay, so I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe for me is like,
You like
in the
that?
middle, in the middle realm of like his actual stand up.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like
Okay.
it's like it's a good time waste. Like
Okay.
I'm good with it. I'll get a couple chuckles here and there. That's about it. But he did it, but in one shot. So the beginning of the special, he's outside and he's smoking a cigarette as like, and you can hear in the background like they're calling him in and whatnot. He finishes the cigarette, throws it down, and then leaves. And then the camera follows him as he walks through the club onto the stage, and it doesn't cut at all. He does his entire bit, like his entire set, his entire 40 or 50-minute set, and then gets off the stage. The camera follows him, and he gets right to the same spot, lights another cigarette, and smokes it. That's how he does that special. It's really crazy.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like it's one time, but I wonder if he did that like 4 times each night.
Oh yeah,
filmed it
before
and then just picked the best one.
Could be.
Who knows? Like, I mean, Chris Rock did like 2, right? He did one in Africa and one in the United States, and then they split those together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that was a weird thing though. That was an
was weird.
experimental
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's
What's-
not normal.
There's this
He
one.
was wearing different clothes in
Yeah,
both
it
of
was,
them.
Yeah.
There's this one special on Netflix right now. It's something Das. It's some Indian guy.
Yeah, I've heard about him. I don't like it. I watched about 10 minutes and I
So
got pissed off.
He
and
goes
I turned
back
it
and
off.
forth between India and America.
Yeah, I watched it.
Telling jokes.
Why did you get pissed off?
I didn't like him.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't like the guy. I felt like that was a performer rather than somebody who's actually a comic.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm
Like
like,
it didn't seem like maybe that is his personality. Maybe that's who he is. But it seemed like he was.
felt like a lot of stage presence.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so.
I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was
thought
more
the-
of a
I
show.
thought it was entertaining
Yeah,
as a show, but I
as a
didn't think it was
show.
stand up. And I felt like
I think.
he was selling me stand up, and I don't like that.
Oh, okay. Within 5 minutes, I kind of like got into his groove of whatever he was doing because like it was part of it was the show, and then after there was a little bit of a preachiness to it too. Like there was aspects of like, you know, he's questioning religion, and after he's finding like solutions for things and things like that. So like he does become preachy somewhere in the like second half.
The middle part.
Yeah.
I didn't get to that part.
I mean, I enjoyed the. I
thought it was funny,
I
though.
thought the concept of like comparing how people laugh at things
Yeah.
differently across 2 continents, that was kind of cool.
I thought so too. And the thing is that I like I like the idea of getting like an Indian comic that's not making fun of like, that's not a Russell Peters.
That's only one guy, man.
No,
We
I
have
understand
so many
that,
indie
but, like-
comics that don't do that now.
No, I understand that because obviously you have Aziz Ansari and you have like whatever.
Hassan Minhaj,
Yeah.
Kumail Nanjiani.
But those guys don't have an accent.
Yeah, Kumail Nanjiani has a very thick accent.
Oh, wait, sorry. Apart from him, but yeah, Kumail is like
That's
the
3 out
most
of 4.
whitewashed guy. This guy
trying to-
felt like he was
whitewashed. He
as-
came to
as
America when he was like in his 20s.
No,
That's
I
who he
understand
is.
that. But like for me, Kumail is. I don't know. I don't.
He talks about Pakistan in his act.
Probably
talks in
yeah.
Urdu too.
I've never. You still like you were raving about that special. The special.
Yeah,
You
the
said it was
one-
one of
The
best
one
ones.
we went to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
It was.
I wish
it was incredible.
I wish I
Yeah.
saw it.
I
wish I saw it.
I'm really happy that I took Freena's nephew and not Freena taking
Maybe
her
I
nephew.
change, maybe it'll
'Cause
change my mind
it
if
would've
I
been
do
awkward.
watch it.
Yeah, no,
I just don't like him.
So I think I understand what you're trying to say, which is that they're because this is like somebody from India
Yep.
who is making jokes about being Indian, but not about being a fish out of water Indian in North America, but
Exactly.
just being from India.
Yeah. There we go.
There's something refreshing about that.
Yeah.
But it's like seeing Trevor Noah make jokes about being African.
Yeah, exactly. That's that would be the parallel that I would get. But I mean, his material is nowhere as good as Trevor Noah's material.
No, clearly.
Obviously. Yeah.
But are there? I mean, do you know what the comedy scene in other countries is like?
No idea.
Not that are non-European. Like, are there comedy clubs?
I'm sure England has a bunch of scenes.
No, non-European. Like, you know,
Oh,
you
yeah,
go east, you go like,
jeez.
like let's put ourselves in. I don't know.
I can just
Amman,
imagine like
Jordan.
I can just see like in India people like going in and sitting on a chair and be like just pissed. Is like he's not making me laugh, you know, like
I also I would like stand-up comedy in other places to not model itself after the format and style of stand-up comedy here.
sure.
Because like I feel like it would be really easy for someone who is from another country to get up and make jokes about the things that they in their mind perceive Western audiences to enjoy hearing about, like sex or like cabs or like things that are just
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that everyone needs a starting point, right? And so the thing is that the template exists, and so people will eventually like look. South Africa. I watched Trevor Noah's got like a documentary kind of sort of about his one man show. It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. And so basically, it just follows him around a couple months before he does his stand up in Africa. Which is interesting because, like, you know, he's still working on material. He's still working through stuff. He's at some point in time, his mom gets shot in the head,
Oh my.
and
you're ruining my book club next week.
and actually, you know, he had to work through that while he was
Jeez.
working through. Like, it's a really interesting thing.
Oh my
It
God.
takes him, and he goes back to the house that they lived in and things like that. It's really interesting, but
Spoiler alert: his mom lives. For all those who are listening and worried.
yeah. Yeah,
I just
no,
don't
it's
want
fine,
people to
but,
be
like,
worried, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Right. But the thing is that what they did is they also interviewed a bunch of comics, like South African comics or African comics.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like it's split down the middle. A lot of black comics are like Trevor Noah. He's great. He's putting us on the map. He's working hard. He's got great work ethic. Love his stuff. And then there's the white comics. They're like, he just made it big because he's black, or like they're all salty.
So
Like, there's
these are
many-
African white
African white,
comics.
yeah, because they feel that for Trevor Noah, like these guys have been, like the white guys have been grinding for a while. They've been doing this for like 10 years, 20 years or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then Trevor Noah, you know, I mean, obviously he's put in work, but his career trajectory was is a lot shorter, obviously. And like he's gone
still,
like stratospheric, right?
He was 33, I think.
Yeah. So
makes
for
me
him,
feel
I think that
terrible
just
about
makes
myself.
people really salty. But it was interesting to see that it would give you clips of like stand up of Africa, and it was like African stand up, but like some of the older stuff or whatnot. It's the template is there. The jokes are African or like based in Africa,
Yeah.
but like the template is there.
Comics are only going to talk about what they find funny.
Yeah.
So it's never going to be for a Western crowd. They aren't going to talk about sex because that's not what they find funny. When they get out on stage, it's like,
No, but like this,
you know, when your dad gets killed by a dog pack?
but this Indian comic, whatever his name is, Das, something Das, whatever.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, his stand-up, like, he talks so it seemed very sort of metropolitan North American, the things he was
Yeah,
talking
maybe.
about, and
No,
maybe that's
but-
his experience, fine, but I'm sure that he has it in him to find other things that are funny about his built or lived environment.
Okay, so two things. Number one, did you finish watching the entire thing?
No.
Okay, so there's the one thing. Because he does split his time between an American crowd and an Indian crowd.
No, yeah.
So like he does specific bits specific to both crowds, right? Some of them are ones where he can. What he's trying to do is prove that we're all human and we're all together, we're all unique, that type of thing. But he does like cater from one to the other.
So that's correct. Another thing that's also correct is like, you signed a Netflix deal.
That's
It's going to
true.
be on Netflix.
That's true.
If it was for Indian television, he could probably be like, all right, we'll do this. But like, if he signs a Netflix deal, like, I should probably do something that Netflix likes.
Yeah, this isn't. A
If you're
CTV
looking
deal.
for like unique brown experience stand-up comedian, remember there was one I sent to you on YouTube. It was
Sebastian something?
yeah, which is an oddly like it belies the fact of how brown this dude is, like his name.
Right.
But
You make
he's
it
got,
sound like it's just an uncle in a shalwar kameez. He's a
got-
young guy. He speaks English.
He's got an entire bit about taking a shower, like a bucket shower.
yeah,
And it's freaking amazing.
See, That's the
so
thing.
good.
That's the kind of
That's
stuff
the thing.
us is talking about.
I want some Orientalism in my comedy.
I want somebody talking about malaria.
No, I suppose you're right. Like there's sort of universal experiences within comedy, but I feel like so much of what we are able to see and experience online, particularly because the English language is like the medium of it all, is done so with a lens that is a Western lens, either for Western audiences or edited by Western eyes, or
It's the primary consumer.
or funded and financed, therefore selected by Western audiences. Therefore, all that other content that is funny about the world, that may be unifying, but is a different, it's like
I
comedy
agree.
on Tatooine. Like it's like different.
Yeah,
All right,
I
but
agree.
Here's the problem with all of this.
What?
Is that, okay, when you get really good at StarCraft in the American ladder, you have to go to Korea, right? Because in Korea, that's where the masters play. So
I have no idea what he just said. Like none of that. After
Other
what I
people
get
will.
They're
good
masters.
at.
Anyway,
In Korea?
what I'm trying to say is that the cream of the crop for that particular video game is
It's a video game.
Yeah,
Right.
they're all located
Now
in Korea.
I get-
Right, they're all. He
He doesn't know about animals
Wait.
or video games. What's he
Why is
doing
he
here?
here?
Which one's
Why
a
is
video
he
game?
here?
Korea or StarCraft?
You know what? I don't know
so-
which one's crazier.
So here's what I'm trying to say is that because the biggest consumer of stand-up comedy is Western society, and it is literally the holy grail. Everyone wants to be able to do that. Even
Yeah.
Sayed mentioned that when he's saying that right now Toronto is a thriving place for comedians to get work, to put in work right now. But the idea is that he said there's so many levels, and once when you get to a particular level, if you want to compete, you gotta go somewhere else where there's killers. So you go to New York. Or even LA currently right now. LA is freaking killing it right now with regards to like the comedy scene. But for you to get good, you had to be with sharks, and that's the thing. No matter what you do, if you want to do stand up comedy in Palestine, the idea is that eventually you want to get to a point where you're going to be good enough for you to be able to go to America to do it, so you can get like exposure. You can still do Palestinian jokes. It's just that you'd want to come here and do it.
That's the hard part.
Look,
is the
New York was okay. New York has been a comedy hub for farther back than we can remember.
Yeah, of course.
LA, however, is only in the last 20 years where it's become a comedy hub.
Yeah.
Clubs have opened, comedians have moved out there, actively moved there to create a comedy community.
Yeah.
So we've seen in our own lifetime the establishment of a comedy community that did not exist before.
Well, that's the key
So
thing.
why can we not see that happen in
Yeah.
other places?
Here, I'll tell you
Where
why.
like,
Because it's
People
not.
getting killed. Sorry. Go
It's not. Well, it's that. It's just. It's not in their culture.
Yeah.
Stand up is not in all communities.
no?
So, like in China or India or Pakistan or Palestine, it's not a very bustling. People don't go out and like seek out stand up. Like, let's just
As
go watch-
audiences, you're saying.
as audiences, or that means places to perform, and then that means artists don't have an opportunity to perform anywhere, which means that they aren't gonna have. There's no appreciation. There's no supply. There's no demand.
Which one's they have
So
to
it
choose
is.
between.
It is really. There's only pockets in Europe, other places that have been colonized. Australia, South of Africa. But I'm sure if you go to Zaire, there's no real stand up.
But there's places that like it's I don't know how comedy became a thing, like Glastonbury.
Yeah, but that's there.
Europe.
It exists. Like in Europe, there's French comedians you've never heard of, right?
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes there's some comics that are huge in France.
So how did it become a thing in these places?
You need time.
So I think
You need,
know what?
You need spare time.
Doesn't the internet either accelerate that process or eliminate the idea of requiring venues altogether?
No, comedy is very much an experience that is communal.
No, requiring venues to begin. Like you can put things up and generate a buzz, and then
think
because of
it's-
that,
I think you're
you
right.
can create venues.
I think you're right, but I don't think it's for there to be a how like back in the day every area of a country would have its own type of music. Like Atlanta rock would sound like this, Alabama, California. Everything would have its own flavor.
Yeah.
Right now, the internet has definitely allowed us to have like if Russell goes or some star goes to a country, they can do a show and it'll be big.
Right.
Like Bill Burr will go to Scotland and it'll be huge.
Right.
But like not every place is gonna have a local scene that is gonna be creating that type of stand up. There is a New York stand up right now. There is a Toronto stand up, and there's like different areas that have a different type of stand-up, but you don't have that in other countries that don't have a scene at all. And it's a shame, because I was talking to a guy who travels globally and does stand-up, and he was just like, it's unfortunate, but it's like, yeah, we're peaking here in North America and in Europe when it comes to stand-up. Comedy is bigger than it's ever been, but there's other parts of the world that where, there's just no local supply and demand, unfortunately. There's people probably trying to, but that, like, you have to do 10,000 hours, 5 minutes at a time.
Right.
And there's not enough places.
Just to add to that, there is a Netflix special, or I think it's by a Muslim guy. And the entire special is him going to different countries to do stand-up, including Saudi, Dubai, a bunch of these places where like comedy is not something that's like there's like very strict rules and all this other stuff.
Can't talk about the family.
So if you want to have like a window of what it's like for you to do comedy in a place that doesn't know anything about like stand-up,
right,
and together with the effect of the internet that exposes kids in Saudi or like the younger generation about stand-up, so they know about it, but there's no way to consume it, and then you'll be able to see the intersection of those two concepts that you're talking about in that thing. I don't know the title. I'll post it up on Facebook later.
Now, you, as somebody who practices stand-up on a
Sure.
regular basis, getting out there, getting on stage,
Are
there jokes that you're just like, that's an area I'm not going to talk about. That's an area I don't want to touch. Are there things that are off limits?
Yeah, for me, but those are things that I don't find funny.
Right. So tell me like what those things
Like
are.
politics, I barely find any. I keep up with all politics. I read the news every day,
Right.
but I don't find any of it humorous. And like I'll see like friends that'll do stand up about politics, and it's funny, but like.
But is there stuff that you find off color that you're like, that is just too sensitive?
No,
not going to go there.
I will send you my Monday set. I will send you the one I'm recording this Monday, and then you'll be like, oh, Sayed has no boundaries.
Good. So this
yeah.
is what's interesting about it, because like I feel like the imposition of boundaries in other places is probably the thing that prevents it from flourishing in other places the most. Because there's either like political impositions or there's cultural impositions.
I'll
of
give
like
you an
what
example.
you cannot say or talk about.
War.
I found a new.
Or a war.
Actually, you know what? That's not true though, because during times of war in the U.S., comedy still finds a place,
In fact, it thrives.
but it's not a normal war though. The war's over there. So.
yeah, the war's
The war's not here. I saw
dodging bullets. Like, something
this
funny
past-
happened to me at the store today.
this past Monday. I saw a guy go up on stage at a new place I found, and he was just like, I like staring at women at the subway. So we're shades, right? And then I forgot that I was staring, and then I just had my glasses on. And he stopped talking. It was hilarious. And then he had other bits about like women yelling at him and stuff. He wasn't funny, but I really gave a lot of confidence to everybody else that went up after him. Was like, oh, okay, if he could talk about that. And it got really funny after that.
How do you know when an audience is okay to hear about something
They
before you
laugh.
say it?
They laugh, and that's how you better massage it into a laughter. Like,
Or you just roll that dice.
yeah,
So do you roll the
sometimes-
dice, or do you say like, look, this crowd does not look like they're okay with rape jokes today. I'm not
Sometimes
going to make rape jokes.
you have to pretend that they'll catch up. You have to have full trust, and they'll catch up. You'd be shocked, because especially in Toronto, their audiences are very good. Like they'll catch up if you're funny, and there's humor. It's offensive, but it's also humorous. They'll catch up.
So what is the difference between something that's just offensive and something that
It's funny.
it's funny. That's all.
That's the only thing. If you say something offensive but it's not funny, it's offensive. But if it's offensive and it's funny, then it's funny offensive.
right?
But that's the only saving grace of the joke. The joke has to, like, no matter how crazy the concept is,
Right.
or the premise, if it's funny, it's almost like that overrides it. But if it doesn't land, then you got yourself a very offensive.
If
thing
you're
that
like
said.
level 8 offensive, hopefully you're level 8 or 9 funny. But you can't be like level 10 offensive and level 5 funny.
Right.
So the offensiveness
Someone's gonna write a blog.
has to be duped by the funniness.
Yeah.
So you can't just get up on stage and be like, ha, Asians, huh?
Oh, I've seen it.
And what's that like? What do people
Oh,
react
it's
like?
super awkward. But nobody heckles.
Nobody heckles.
Oh, well, people heckle. But it's never mean. But it's mean enough. Because it's, hey, man, you can say stuff people don't like. Sometimes people are going to, and then you have to stick handle that
Because
one way or
they're
another.
going to say stuff back that you don't like.
Yeah, but for the most part, people will let you go, especially if they're just trying to see if you can get somewhere. Yeah.
It seems like comedy audiences are probably the most forgiving.
That's the only
spectators of anything.
unless you have college students in your crowd, in which case
Well, they're not there for the comedy.
there's nothing pleasing them. They're just there to watch their one friend talk about whatever she's going to talk about. I don't know why it's a she, but it is.
Well, that's okay. I mean, it's fine. Have you performed at colleges before?
No, I've had like 18 college kids, and I could very much tell. Like,
Do not offend.
Yeah, you could just
Do not offend. Like,
I don't have really super offensive stuff. It's
No, it's just that generally speaking, most comedians say that with like college gigs or university gigs does not
just
go
tough.
well because everyone is just ready to get offended.
it's just that young thing about
Yeah.
at the moment.
Granted or ungranted indignation.
They're upset about stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
They don't know what, but they think it's me.
People got mad at what's his name? Was Hari Kondabolu?
Oh, why'd they get mad at Harry? Harry's like super.
Yeah, but like apparently he said, like I remember you were telling me, like he said a couple things where like his word choice for some things like caused people to get like
whatever.
super tight and things. It's just that's just the way it goes. Anyway, we go.
I highly recommend. Like,
Hari's great.
I love it when people do offensive stuff. And you know what?
Me too.
If nobody else, other comics laugh.
Yes.
Like, comics love it when somebody's like, "Oh, this guy's fucking talking about dicks over here." Like.
I feel like the structuring of a joke and then the structuring of a set and are both more sciences than art. And then the reading of the audience in terms of figuring out how to tell the joke is more of an art than a
That's
science.
definitely art. That's like seeing a wave and like trying to guess when it's going to break and jump on that thing.
Right.
Because you really have to like, there's instincts, there's literally something else happening that you can't control that you have to try to at least ride or orchestrate to a certain extent to get to the end of it.
It's such a thrill.
And crowds are different. Like certain rooms are different. Like this room, you can almost start reading them earlier on. Like, all right, I got to change the order of these jokes or something. Like,
Just so you can win them over.
Yeah, some black crowds are the best or worst.
Because they expect you to be funny immediately.
Yeah, there is
no warm up. There is no like.
It's the Apollo effect. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I've seen it once where I was like, oh shit, all black crowd. How'd this happen? And I had to ask, and he's like, yeah, this guy brought all his friends. I was like, damn it. But
Gotta open with
So you asked the audience.
I did. I was like, why are you... I'm not... Because I was like, normally it's like, Alcoholics Anonymous down here. It's just a bunch of white guys in a circle. So how'd everybody get here? Like, we know Tyrone? I'm like, oh, Tyrone. All right, Tyrone.
If you want to see like a masterclass of a comedian winning over a crowd,
Yeah.
watch Bill Burr
In Philadelphia.
in Philadelphia.
Really?
He
Philly's a tough crowd for
It's
everything.
a 20-minute bit.
Yeah.
But he doesn't actually do his bit. That crowd was booing like some of the legends of comedy
Really?
up until Bill came on. And then Bill came on stage and for 20 minutes insulted the crowd, the city, the sports teams, just for 20 minutes. That's all he did.
That's legendary.
And then at first they were angry at him. By the end of the set, everyone was clapping.
Really? Can
Yeah.
I find this on YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll post it up.
All right.
But we're getting to that time here, man. We've spoken too long.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
We'll have you on again. Don't worry.
We didn't even get to touch on heels or toes.
Oh my god.
That's fine.
You know
We'll
what? We'll do that in the
You got all
intro.
the heel toe stuff?
We'll do that in the intro really quickly. You're gonna have to explain that concept
Deal.
in the intro.
Deal.
All right.
All right, people. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll be back in a week. Take care of yourselves.